Hey, hello everybody, welcome to the sound test room. Today we are taking a look at Scalar 2 and how to chain patterns together. So pattern chaining, so that as soon as you press play in your DAW, I'm using AUM, as soon as you press play in your DAW or play down here, it will play through these patterns automatically and you won't have to do a thing, in effect creating an entire track. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go into songs here. And I'm just going to choose 70s funk and soul and number 8 here. So, and first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this B major down into this first slot of our pattern builder here, which is C. So just build up a little pattern. So there's the first section of our pattern. We can of course add up to 8, but we're going to leave it at that. And if we have our loop switched on, we can. Okay, now the first thing I'm going to do is I want these to play for 1 bar each initially, just while I'm building the pattern. I'll get a better idea of how the track will sound. So I'm going to go up to this little gearbox here. And where it says chord duration, I'm going to open this and I'm going to select 4 beats, which will in effect give us 1 bar for each of those chords. And I'm also going to, while I'm here, switch on DAW sync, which means that AUM's transport will now play this chord sequence. This is important for when I add another one. So, and you'll see they're slightly longer now, 1 bar. Cool beans. Right. So there's our first part of our pattern. And if we were to go into pad mode, you will see it there. Okay. So let's go back to main and let's add a pattern. So plus and go to that pattern. You'll see it's empty. So let's add a few more chords in now for like a, I don't know, maybe a break. Put another one of them in here for a laugh. That sounds all right. Now, so if we go back to pattern 1, we play. Let's press play on our transport. It's just going to loop back. It's not going to play pattern 2. So if I select pattern 2 and press play, okay. So what I'm going to do is add another pattern, and I won't go any further than 3 patterns. So I'm going to select pattern 1. All right. And then I'm going to tap shift because I want this to be like verse, maybe pattern 1 verse, then bridge, then verse, and then you could do choruses and stuff. So I basically want to copy pattern 1 to pattern 3. We have a pattern 2. So I'm going to hit shift. I'm going to tap on any area here. But first of all, I'm going to press somewhere and select those 4 chords. Then I'm going to tap on 1 while shift's highlighted. I'm going to go to add 2. And where we go, add 2 specific and pattern 3. Now, if there was a pattern 4 there, you would also see that. So now if I go to 3, you'll see it's exactly the same as 1. Okay. And you could, of course, start making changes to the chords, etc., etc. Pattern 2 same. So, but now, of course, it's still only going to play what we're selecting. Of course, if we go into our pads, you'll see we've got 3 of these now. Okay. So let's close. Go back to main. Sorry. So how do you get these to play in a loop, like a song mode? Well, it's quite simple, but not obvious, if you know what I mean. It's nothing that says. What you do, anywhere outside like this, like here, long hold and drag, and you'll see all those patterns will highlight blue. Okay, and you'll see there's a line under the first one. And if we press play on our transport now, now it'll go to pattern 2. Now it'll go to pattern 3, which is a copy of pattern 1. Okay, brilliant. Now there's a couple of things I want to do now. All right, so I've got these playing for 4 and I've got 1 scaler. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open 2 more scalars. I'm going to open one here. So audio unit scaler, and it'll just open it for me. And then audio unit scaler. Right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to synchronize all this information that's in our first scaler here with these 2, so we don't have to, you know, kind of, and we can change sounds, melody. Well, so what we're going to do is we're going to create a melody and a bass to go along with our pattern. But first of all, I will add one more pattern. Okay, so I'm going to add pattern 4, and I'm just going to throw in a bunch of them, right? So I'm just going to throw in jazzy. All right, now on pattern 4 we have these 8. So, but you'll see that pattern 4 is not part of the pattern chain. So if I was to play it now, it'll get to pattern 3 and then jump back to pattern 1. It won't play pattern 4 because we haven't selected it. Back to pattern 3, which is in effect pattern 1. And then back to pattern 1. Right, so let's stop that now. So to get these all to play in order, we need to again long hold somewhere like here and then just drag and select them all so they're all blue. Now just tapping on a pattern will take you to it, right? To unhinge a pattern or a bunch of patterns, right? Press Shift, press the pattern, and go unselect all patterns. And now you're back to basically having control over each pattern independently. So again, we're going to select all of these by holding and dragging and then letting go. So now we've got 4, and if you go to pad mode, you will see we have our 4, and you'll see that they're all bound together because they're all flashing like this. Now you can do this with MIDI keyboard if you want to as well, but this is much more fun. Now I've got all this information and I want to synchronize everything here with my other 2 scalars, right? So this is the first scaler we've been working with. Let's tap the little icon here, tap on sync, and it will say 2 other instances connected after a couple of seconds. 2 other instances connected. What you need to do is you need to actually press on what you want to sync. So I'm just going to go, right, I'm just going to go entire state, everything, right? And then go sync. And you'll see here that it starts to sync. And when it's done, they'll go off like this. Now, if we close this and we open this, you will see that all our info is exactly the same, and it's all going to be playing this felt piano. And on this one as well, it's still going to be exactly the same. So we've now got 3 states of scalar that are identical to each other. And if we play it, it's just going to be louder. Okay, let's go to our second scalar right now, and we can make some adjustments to the performance. So let's go perform. Let's get the drop down menu. Okay, and let's choose maybe bass for this one, and let's choose this. I don't even know how this will sound. Let's just choose it. One synthwave bass 2. Okay, and I'm gonna have actually, you'll see this resolution 1 bass style melody, chord based. That's fine. Chords only. That's fine. Just let's hear how that sounds. Now I'll turn this one down because it'll just make it louder. So now we should have a bass line on our piano. So And it's all going to follow the same thing. And it's going to loop as well because, you know, we have loop switched on in our main thing. It's on pattern 4 now, you see. Now I'll go back to pattern 1. Right, let's change some of this bass line. Maybe it's not so great, so let's change the sound now, because that's playing the felt piano. Oh, it's better. Maybe change our felt piano to electric piano. Now we can go and start to play around with this. This will still be playing the felt. Let's go into, say, perform again now and go with arpeggio maybe. And oh, actually, not arpeggio. I found a really good one earlier actually. I think, was it in performances, I think? Yeah, that's really cool, that is. Very nice. Off of that piano. Okay. So now you see how cool this is. If you wanted to kind of put pattern 2 here, right, let's just run through this once again. So I'm going to again go with pattern 1 after pattern 4, but I know at the moment it's returning automatically, so let's instead put pattern 3 after pattern 4 this time. So we'll tap shift. We'll need to add a pattern first actually, so let's do this. Add a pattern, otherwise it won't see it. I'll explain this in a sec. So pattern 5, so we're going to go with pattern 3. I'm going to hit shift, pattern 3. No, wrong, Doug. Need to select the chord sequence like this and select that, and then add to new pattern. Oh, add to specific pattern that's already there, and we'll choose pattern 5. And now, once we're in pattern 5, you'll see that it's back to what it is in pattern 3. And then again, obviously to bind all this together, you long hold anywhere and do this. And don't forget also to unbind them, you hit shift, click on the pattern, and then go unselect all. And then you've got, you know, manual control back again to bind them all up. Do this. And once they're bound, it's done. Now, what we're going to have to do again, of course, is go to sync. And this time, all I want to sync is the loopback section C. And door sync, of course. We'll have door sync synced as well. But that's it, okay? So we'll go with sync. And that should hopefully work. Let's see. So if we now look at our pads though, right, okay, we go into this one maybe and look at our pads. Right, okay, so it hasn't synced my pattern. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The point is, I'm going to remove that pattern. It's not going to sound right. Oh, hang on a minute. Wait a sec. This is I'm not sure. I probably did that wrong. It doesn't matter. You get the idea anyway. Oh yeah, there it is in pattern 5. That's weird. Right, let's try this again, shall we? Let's just see what I might have done wrong. Let's go with sync. I'm gonna go. I don't want to sync the entire state because it'll change all the sequences and stuff. So let's see. We want to sync obviously the selected scale, the door sync, progression builder, section C. Right, okay, so playback and selected time we want to leave and articulations and stuff we want to leave. I'm just going to try and sync them now, see what happens. So you've got to kind of be careful what you're syncing. So we know we've got 5 patterns in our third one. Let's open this now. And let's go to pad mode. There we go. Hopefully, let's go to this first one as well. Yeah, there we go. Hopefully, I haven't changed anything else. So maybe thinking if I play this now, let's see. So we should play a pattern 5 as well. Awesome stuff. Well, that just worked perfectly, didn't it? Right, so okay, what else could we do? All right, so basically that's the tutorial for chaining your songs and patterns together and stuff, right? Where Scaler gets awesome as well is when you go into sequence mode. So for sequence mode, you have access to your patterns, of course, and access to changing the octaves. So for instance, let's change on pattern 5, we could change the octaves of, you could set inversions. You can do semitones, but I wouldn't advise that. Then we can go playback timings. Now you can see at the moment, all of them are 1 bar. They repeat once and they're all 1 bar long, but we can change any of these to anything we like. We could go, well, let's have this G minor here on this last one. Let's have that. Play for 2 bars. Let me go back up. Play for, let me just with me mouse, it's awful. There you go. So this one's going to play for 2 bars. And then playback performance, you will see at the moment, it's all on global. Now, global means they're all going to play the same thing, depending, and they all locks to what you've already set up. However, you have independent control over every single chord. So, for instance, at the moment, we're in pattern 5, and let's do this. Let's just shift and unhook these patterns, and I'm just going to play pattern 5. So see, it's playing for longer because of our timings. Look. Now, don't forget the others are going to be playing because we need to sync it back up, don't forget. So I'm not going to do all that though, so don't worry. So, but you could also go into playback performance and then go to global and say, well, okay, I'm going to have this as group 1, and you'll see that it's legato, which is how we've already set this up. So tap on this, go with maybe arpeggio, and this will be an arpeggio now. Right, need to, it's more or less an arpeggio anyway, isn't it? So let's change it maybe to a strumming pattern. Not sure why that's not changing. Oh, anyway, that's odd. I've probably done something wrong somewhere. But yeah, never mind, don't matter. It's not important. The point of this was the actual song. Synced something somewhere by the sound of it. Anyway, there you go. That's what you do. So you set up your patterns. See what I did there? See what I did? Need to select all my patterns again. God, there's always something at the door. Always something. Let me go. They're chained, that's fine. It was this one that we unchained as well, I think. Oh no, do you know what I think I might have done? I think that I've not had this unchained and it's going to be just running through as normal. Doesn't matter, that's probably what I did. Now they're all chained together, hopefully they'll sound okay. Here it started to sound off, wasn't it? So let's see what I've done, if it's okay. Perfect. It's a mad chord, that is. We took these up in the octaves and a strum, so it worked. And it's going to be slightly off now because it's, well, actually, it's not, is it? Perfect. No. Great stuff. It all worked. I can't believe it. I'm shocked and stunned. Guys, thanks very much for watching. If you like the video, please, like I said, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. This Scaler makes making music really, it's powerful stuff, you know, and you don't really need the musical knowledge, but you're learning all the time. And it's not making music for you. You're having to decide which patterns and stuff and the durations and things like this. But it's really, really smooth. I think it's great. Anyway, guys, brilliant. Top job. Cool beans. Thank you very, very much. I'll just... Scaler minimizes really well as well. You can see. I can close that one. So I think what I'll do is shall I screenshot it? I'll do this. Let me do this. Oh dear. I'll screenshot it like that. So screenshot now. Top job. Anyway, guys, listen, brilliant. Thanks very much. I will see you all later. How to chain patterns together and get like song mode. Awesome. See you later. Ta-ra.